Hello everyone. We are going to yeah, it's recording. Hello everyone. We are going to start with another lecture of performance management, and in this lecture we are going to deal with the concept of risk and uncertainty, right? Now the first question that comes into my mind is what is risk and uncertainty? Number 1, and why we are interested in the study of risk and uncertainty, where we can use risk and uncertainty part. See, risk and uncertainty means what? Means that you don't know, you are not sure what's going to happen in future. Maybe you don't know what will be the oil prices in future. You don't know what's going to be the material cost. You don't know about. You have some uncertainty about the exchange rate. You have some uncertainty about inflation, right? So there can be uncertainty with respect to demand. There can be anything, right? So if you are not sure what's going to happen in future, that is basically the concept of that is the concept of basically you are doubtful. I'm not saying that whether that is risk or uncertainty, because there is a difference between these two. So the if we are facing with an uncertain situation, then we have to make decision, then we have to take decisions accordingly, right? So basically this risk and uncertainty is actually related to the decision making part, as we were doing decision making previously. So this is related to decision making part, that whenever company wants to decide about future few and in case we are expecting some uncertainty in future, then definitely we can use this particular model, right? And what is the major difference between risk and uncertainty? See, it's very simple. If you don't know, if you have no clue what's going to happen in future, that is basically the concept of uncertainty, right? I mean, I don't have a clue. I don't have any clue that whether the weather can be good, whether the weather condition can be average, or whether the condition can be bad. We don't have any idea what's going to happen in future. So if I don't have any idea, that comes under the heading of uncertainty, right? There is an uncertainty, right? And if I can assign some probability in the sense that, look, we have a clue that suppose there are 60% chances that weather will be good, there are 30% chances that weather will be average, and there are 10% only chances that weather can be bad. So if we can assign some probability, and if we can assign some type of percentages probability to the expected outcomes, to the expected conditions, then we can say that there is a risk. So risk is always related to the part situation when we can say that, okay, fine, we know something, but it's not completely uncertainty, but still there is a risk. Still we have a risk that anything can happen. 60% chance that weather can be good, 30% chance weather can be bad, average, and 10% chance weather can be bad, right? So there are some probabilities involved here, right? So how we can decide about this? See, let's assume that there is no probability, okay, and we have to decide which project we should continue, we should accept, right? So there are two projects, and in the first project, this is the situation, right? And in the project B, this is the situation, and we don't know what will be the weather for the coming period, right? So, and if I ask you to decide that which project will you accept, right? Try to pause this video and think for a while that which project will you prefer, project A or project B? See, there is no definite answer, right? It depends upon what is my thinking, what is my behavior toward decision making. If I am a kind of person who is risk seeker, right, who want to take risk, who is ready to take risk, who has lot of funds available, he's that I mean, I'm a kind of manager, I'm working in a company whose parent company is somewhere else, and the parent company can easily support me in case of any issue, in case any project goes wrong, right? So if I have no issues, if I have no problem attached with me, then probably and my behavior is risk seeker, I want to take risk, then probably I will prefer project A. Why project A? Because project A has a $500,000 profit. Since I can bear risk, since I can afford losses, right? So I'm not considering the fact that this project, if goes wrong, then I can have a loss of 200,000. No, I'm not considering this fact. I'm just considering the good part. And the good part is that this project can generate a 500,000 profit, right? So I'm a risk eager person in case, so I will choose project A. And if I am a risk averse person, I don't, and if I am a kind of person who don't want to take risk, then what will be my decision? My decision may go to project B. Why? Because project B has not much profit as compared with project A. I mean, the best condition will also give me 300,000 profit, right? But the good part is that this division, this particular project will not generate losses. In the worst case, this project will still be beneficial for me. So overall, this project is not generating overall a good profit, but still this project will be good in the worst circumstances. So since I don't want to take risk, my division is having cash flow problems. I have already produced losses for the 2 years, since 2 years. So I don't want to take any further risk. So I want to play safe. And in that is if that is the case, definitely I will go for project B, right? So it's a very simple scenario, right? It depends upon our risk perspectives, our ability to take risks, our risk appetite, right? So in case of uncertainty, in case we don't have any clue what's going to happen, we usually follow decision rule. In case of uncertainty, we follow decision rules. And what are the decision rules? There are three decisions rules. The first decision rule is maximax, right? The second one is maximin, and the third one is minimax regret, right? So that means what? Maximax means what? Maximax means we have to maximize the maximum available profits, right? Maximin means what? We have to maximize the minimum available profits. Regret, I'm not discussing regret right now. It's a complicated one, right? We will discuss it in the question. So we have already applied maximax and maximin. Maximax means what? See, we have two projects available, project A and project B, right? What is the maximum profit of these projects? The maximum profit of project A is what? Project A's maximum profit is 500,000 and project B's maximum profit is 300,000, right? So these are two maximum profits available, right? These are the maximum available profits. And what I have to do? I have to maximize the maximum available profit. That means what? That means I will go for option A. I will go for project A. So we have already done this thing. I mean, I haven't told you what you were doing, what you did initially, but actually you applied both of these concepts, right? And what about maximin? Maximin means what? Maximin means we have to minimize the maximum available profit. So what are the minimum profit? Minimum profit of project A. In the worst circumstances, project A will generate a loss of 200,000. And if conditions go wrong, and if weather turns into bad weather, then project B will generate a profit of 40,000. So in the worst circumstances, in the worst case, project B is a better option for me. So these are the minimum profits, right? These are the minimum profits available, and we have to maximize the minimum profit, right? We have to maximize the minimum available profit. So these are the minimum profit, and since we have to choose the maximum option, so that we will choose project B, right? So this is basically what? This is basically the maximization of minimum profit, right? And this is what? This is the maximization of maximum profit. And I'm not discussing minimax regret, right? Now, suppose if I say that these are three conditions relating to uncertainty, right? So what is the condition related to risk part? If you are facing any risk, then we usually follow expected value. Expected value concept. Now, what is expected value concept? It's very simple. See, if I can attach some probability in the sense that, for example, I'm saying that look, there are just 20% chances that weather can go good. There are 20% chances that weather can go average, and there are 60% chances that weather will go bad. Weather will turn into not a good option, right? So if I have these options available, if I can attach some probabilities with these results, what I can do is that I can take the average value, weighted average value, right? So what will be the weighted average value of project A? In weighted average value, we just multiply probabilities with the value and just add it up. So 500,000 times 20%, right? Plus 3 lakh multiply by 20% plus 200,000 multiply by 60%, but make sure this should be a negative sign. So 5 twos are 1 lakh profit, 3 twos are 60,000 profit, and then minus 2 6 are 120,000 profit. Loss, in fact. So 160 minus 120 is the final result is 40,000 profit, right? And what about project B? Project B will generate a profit of 3 lakh 170 and 40. 3 lakh plus 170,000 plus 40,000 into 60%, right? So, oops, sorry. Let me try to calculate these figures if possible. Okay. Okay, 3 lakh into 20% is 60,000, right? And 170 into 2 is 34,000. And 6 into 4 is 24,000. So 24 plus 34 plus 60, 118,000. Right? So my decision will go for project B in case we know the probabilities. And my decision will be different in case I reverse these probabilities. If I say that, okay, fine, now situation is that there are 60% chances that situation 1 can occur, there are 20% chances that situation 2 can occur, and there are 20% chances that situation 3 will occur, right? So just need to calculate the expected value, and you can identify that which project is a better option for the company, right? The higher expected value means a good option for the company, right? So this is basically a situation in which we can tackle with the concept of risk and uncertainty. The only thing which I haven't discussed till now is the concept of minimax regret. It's a different concept, so we will discuss it in the question, right? Now let's move forward. Let's do a very simple example. See, this is basically a very simple example. We are going to apply all concepts: maximax, maximum, minimax regret, and I will attach some probabilities with these figures, so we will calculate the expected value as well. Now, what is the question? The question says the budgeted demand for product X will be 11,500 units if selling price is $10, right? And there is a comma, right? 8,500 units if the selling price is $12, and 5,000 units if the selling price is $14, right? So we are saying that there can be different selling at different selling prices, the sales volume can be different. Variable costs are estimated to be either 4, 5 or 6 per unit. A decision needs to be made on the prices to be charged, right? So you have to decide which price company should charge from the customer. Now, before proceeding, let me tell you one more thing regarding this concept, because whenever you want to start this topic, you must make sure that which variable is controllable and which variable is uncontrollable. Controllable and uncontrollable in the sense something on the base, something about which you are going to decide. I mean, for example, you are deciding about the selling prices, you are deciding about the ticket prices, you are deciding about the sales volume. Whatever you are deciding is something which is controllable, right? You can control that part. And something which is uncertain, something which you are not sure about, is basically the uncontrollable factor, right? So controllable factor is what? Controllable factor is something about which you have to take the decision, and uncontrollable factor is something which you really don't know, and that is creating actually the uncertainty, right? So what we have to do, one, first you have to identify this, and then you have to make a table where you have to make a payoff table basically. And in payoff table, you are supposed to plug in all possible profit outcomes, right? For example, I mean, you can prepare a table anyway. I mean, whatever the format you like. But I personally believe that you should try to follow one thing and focus on. I mean, try to follow one way and just focus on that. Don't experiment with this, right? So you have to make a table of controllable variable controllable variable with uncontrollable factor number 1, uncontrollable factor number 2, and uncontrollable factor number 3. Then controllable variable 2, let's make it 1, with uncontrollable 1, uncontrollable 2, and uncontrollable 3, and so on. Right? This is basically what you have to do, right? Now, how we can apply this? Let's do this example. It's a very simple example. First of all, we have to try that which factor is controllable and which factor is uncontrollable, right? So the budgeted demand for product X will be 11,500 if selling price is 10, 8,500 units if price is 12, and 5,000 units if price is 14. Variable cost can be 4, 5, 6. A decision needs to be made on the prices to be charged. So what is controllable? I mean, we can charge whatever price we want to, right? But the problem is actually with the variable cost. We don't know what is the variable cost, right? Variable cost can be 4, can be 5, can be 6. I mean, if prices goes up, then prices will increase. If in case of less inflation, prices will be lower than the expectation. So we don't know what's going to happen, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to prepare our table where controllable factor is selling price. So we'll make a table with a selling price with a variable cost. Selling price can be 10. Selling price can be what? Selling price can be 12, and selling price can be 14, right? And variable cost will be 4, 5, or 6, right? Variable cost can be 4, can be 5, can be 6, and variable cost can be 4, 5, or 6, right? So variable, we don't know what can be the variable cost, but we know that will be in between 4, 5, and 6, right? So now we have to calculate the profit in considering the situation, right? So let's calculate contribution margin first. Contribution margin per unit will be 10 minus 4 is 6, 10 minus 5 is 5, 10 minus 6 is 4, 12 minus 4 is 8, 12 minus 5 is 7, and 12 minus 6 is 6. 14 minus 4 is 10, 14 minus 5 is 9, and 8. Right? So this is contribution per unit. And for the calculation of total contribution, you have to multiply this with the sales volume. What is the sales volume? Sales volume is 11,500 in the first case. I mean, if selling price is $10, sales volume will be 11,500, right? If selling price is $12, sales volume can be 8,500. So we'll write 8,500 in all circumstances, right? And then variable selling price, at selling price of $14, variable cost sales volume can be 5,000. Right? Right. So what will be the total contribution? Total contribution will be 6 multiplied by 11,500, 69,000. 5 into 11,500, that is 57,500, right? And then 4 multiplied by 11,500, that is 46,000, right? Now 8 times 8,500, 8 times 8,500 is 68,000. 7 times 8,500 is 59,500. And 6 times 8,500 is 51,000, right? And then 10 multiplied by 5,000 is 50,000. 9 fives are 45,000 and 40,000, right? So this is basically what this is. These are basically contribution. This is a very simple question. I mean, this is just a warm up exercise, just to let you people get familiar about what is the risk and uncertainty concept, right? Now, um, now what we have to do first? Now we have to apply Maximax, right? Maximax is what Maximax means. We have to maximize the maximum available profits, right? So first of all, you have to identify what is the maximum available profit. What are the maximum available profits? At a selling price of $10, maximum profit is 69,000. Maximum profit can be 69,000. If we choose a selling price of 12, maximum at selling price of $12, maximum profit can be 68,000. And at a selling price of $14, maximum profit can be 50,000, right? And we have to choose what? We have to maximize the maximum available profit. So these are the maximum profits. And what will be the maximum available maximization of maximum available profit? Which project we will choose? We will choose selling price 10, right? If we choose a selling price of 10, then this will maximize the maximum available profit. So if company really wants to take risk, then company can go for $10 selling price, right? Now, if I follow Maximin, so Maximin will be different. We have to concentrate on the minimum profits, right? Minimum profit is 46,000 at selling price of $10. Minimum profit is 46,000. At a selling price of $12, minimum profit is 51,000. And at a selling price of $14, minimum profit can be 40,000, right? So this is basically the situation. Now, if I want to maximize the minimum available profit, so these are the minimum profits and we have to choose the maximum one, right? So what is the maximum one? Maximum one is $12, right? So since company wants to maximize the minimum available profits, therefore it should choose selling price equals to 12, right? So these two concepts are very easy. There is nothing, I mean, these two concepts are very easy to understand, right? So the first concept is saying you that look, if you are risk taker, you should go for maximax, and if you want to really maximize the profit, then company should choose project A. Sorry, selling price of $10, right? This selling price is the best if you really want to maximize the profit. But if you want to be at a safer side, then you should choose project number. Then you should choose selling price of 12, because if situation goes wrong, if selling price increases, then it's still this project will give you the, I mean this I mean on the lowest side, this profit will give you the maximum benefit, right? Now the third one is mini max regret. Now you have to concentrate, because I personally believe that this is a tricky one, right? We are now moving towards mini max regret. Now, minimax regret is actually based on the concept of opportunity cost, right? You have to minimize, you have to minimize the maximum regret, right? This is basically what your objective is. Acha, let me tell you one thing. There, before starting with this part, there is maximax, there is maximin, there is no such concept as minimin. I don't know why, but somehow students try to figure out that what will happen for the minimin. Minimin is not any concept relating to this uncertainty part. I mean, in case of something bad will happen, then we will see the lowest part and we will try to choose the best among that, right? So it's not the case where we will choose minimum from the minimum available output, right? This is not the logic basically, right? So don't apply this anywhere. Just remember, minimin is nothing. Now, first of all, in order, if you really if you want to apply minimax regret, then you have to prepare. You have to convert this payoff table into another format, and you have to prepare that new table in two different at two times, right? Let's just start with this first. First of all, first of all, you have to make a table in such a manner that your vertical axis will consider the uncertainty part, and the what you will say this horizontal part will contain the decision part or the controllable part, and this contain uncontrollable part. Now what is uncontrollable in this case? Variable cost, right? Variable cost can be 4, can be 5, can be 6, right? So in this part we will write variable cost, and on the horizontal axis we will write selling price, which can be 10, which can be 12, and which can be 14, right? So we'll write selling price here. Now try to write all these profits, all of those profits which we have calculated in the above table here, right? So 69,000 in the first case, 57,500 in the second case, and 46,000 in the third case. Then 68,000, 59,500, 51,000, right? And then 50,000, 45,000, right? So this is basically we converted the payoff table into another format, right? Sometimes examiner also refer this to be the payoff table, but to be very honest, this is just the result. This is just a summary of result. Now what you have to do? Now you have to prepare a payoff table. Sorry, now you have to prepare a regret table, right? Now regret table means what? Again, you have to prepare the same table, similar table, but 10, 12, and 14, and 4, 5, and 6, right? Here is the variable cost. Here we will consider the selling price. Now, now you have to focus on uncertainty, right? You have to focus on the uncertainty part. Uncertainty in the sense, see, uh, if selling price, if in case selling price comes, if in case selling price is $4, right? Or in case selling price, sorry, in case actual variable cost was $4 in reality, then at a at a variable cost of $4, what is the best option for the company? We are just trying to calculate the regret part. Regret in the sense, regret is what? Regret is basically the loss of opportunity cost. I mean, we just regret that, okay, fine, we chose a wrong decision, and because of choosing a wrong decision, we made a loss. So that is a kind of regret, that cash factor, that source kind of factor, right? So at a selling price of $10, the maximum, what can be the maximum profit? Maximum profit can be 69,000. So at a variable cost, if we choose a selling price of $10, we will have no regret in that case. But if variable cost is 4, but at a variable cost of $4, and if we choose a selling price of 12, we will have a regret of 1,000. What do you mean by 1,000? 1,000 means that we will have, in case if variable cost is 4, right? If variable cost come out to be 4, and if we choose a selling price of 12, then what we will say, we will try to think, yeah, we did wrong. We should have chosen $10 selling price, because if we have chosen $10 selling price, my profit would have been 69,000. Right now we generated just $68,000 profit. I mean, we generated 1,000 less profit just because of the reason that we chose a wrong project, we chose a wrong selling price, right? And in case of variable, if variable cost is 4 and selling price is 14, then you will have a regret. Then you will have more regret in this case. You will have a regret of 19,000, right? At a selling price of 5, what will be the maximum profit at $5 selling price? Sorry, at $5 variable cost. The maximum profit at $5 variable cost is 59,500. So you will have no regret if you choose $12 selling price. But if you choose selling price of $10, you will have a regret of $2,000. If you choose a selling price of $14, you will have a regret of how much? 59,500 minus 45,000. 14,500. You will have a regret of 14,500. Right? Now, what will happen if variable cost turn out to be 6? In case of $6 variable cost, the maximum profit will be 51,000. So you will have no regret in choosing $12. In case you choose $10 selling price, you will have a regret of 51 minus 46 is 5, I guess. Yeah, 5,000. And if you choose a selling price of $14, you will have a regret of 11,000. Right? So these are those regrets. These are the losses, the regrets which we can have, which we may have by choosing a wrong decision, by taking the wrong decision, right? Now try to figure out what is the maximum regret at each selling price. At $10 selling price, which we have to choose, maximum regret is 5,000. Don't add 2,000 or 5,000. We have to choose the higher one, highest one, right? It's 5,000. Maximum regret at $12 will be 1,000, and maximum regret at selling price of $14 will be 19,000. So this is what these are the maximum regrets, right? Now try to recall what we have to do. We have to minimize the maximum regret. So these are the maximum regrets, and we have to minimize it. So minimize means what? We will choose which project? We will choose which selling price? We will choose selling price of $12. Why? Because this, if we choose selling price of $10, then we will have the minimum regret, right? So in order to minimize, if company wants to minimize the maximum regret, then it should choose selling price equals to $12 per unit, right? Now, So this is basically what we did. We first of all we copied these all of these profits in a table, right, making sure that on the horizontal axis we write controllable variable, and on the vertical side we wrote uncontrollable factors. And then we calculated the regret table. Regret table, how we calculated, we concentrated on the uncertainty part, and we say that look, if first uncertainty happened, then what's going to be the best for the company. We chose that, and we put a 0 mark there, that there will be no regret if we choose that project, right? But in case we choose any other project, any other option, then what can be the cash, what can be the regret. So we wrote that, and then we figured out what is the maximum regret at each outcome, and then we calculated the minimum from those maximum regrets, right? So this is very simple. Now, in case someone attach an uncertainty, if in case someone attach some probabilities in the sense, just say for example, if someone says that look, there are 20% chances, there are 20% chances that variable cost will be 4. There are 70% chances that variable cost will be 5, and there are approximately 10% chances that variable cost will be 6. Now choose the selling price. So I know that it is highly likely that selling price, that variable cost will be 5. Sorry, yeah, I don't know why I'm continuously saying selling price. There are very high probability that variable cost will be $5, right? So let's see what can happen. See, we can have 69,000 profit, but the chances of 69,000 profit is just 20%. So I'm calculating the expected value. So 69,000 times 20% is 13,800. Right? There are 70% chances that second case will occur, right? So 57,500 times 0.7, 40,250. And this times 10% is 4,600, right? So plus 4,600 plus 13,800, 58,650. Right? Now let's move to the other part. Variable cost probability will remain same. So 20% chance, 70% chance, and 10% chance. 10% chance means 5,100, and 68 times 0.2. Sorry, 68 times 0.2, 13.6. And 59,500 times 0.7, 41,650. Right? So what will be the expected value in this case? Expected value will be 13,600 plus 41,650. Sorry. Plus 5,100. 6,350. Right? And what will be the next one into 20% is 10,000. Into 70% is 45,000 times 70% is 31,500. 4,000. All right, so 10,000 plus 45,500. So in case of expected value, which option is best for the company? For me, this is the highest profit, right? So company should choose project selling price 12 if company wants to have expected values, right? So this is basically a brief introduction of the concept of risk and uncertainty, right? We have the option of, in case of risk, we have the option of expected value and we calculate expected values. In case of uncertainty, we have, since we don't know anything what will happen, so we follow the decision rules, right? So that's the end of this video. In the next video, we will do one more question, or maybe we will do one or two questions of risk and uncertainty, and then we will finish this topic, right? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.